If you love to make cards for your fashion-forward friends and family members, this video is for you. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel, and in today's video, I'll be sharing a bundle from the latest Catherine Pooler Designs City Vibes release. The entire release has lots of different fun stamps and dies and pattern paper, and I'll be sure to link to the entire collection down below. But the bundle specifically that I'll be playing with today is called Totes Marvelous. Wait until you see the adorable purse and accessories that you can create with this bundle. First, let's take a look at some of the supplies that I'll be working with today. First up, I have the 42nd Street cover plate die. That's found in the Uptown bundle. Next, I have the In Vogue pattern paper. This is a 6x6 pattern paper pack where you get 3 sheets of each design, and you can see how fun and on trend these designs are, from eyeglasses to just really pretty plaids and dots and squares. Next up, we have the Milan sequin mix, and the colors match perfectly to that pattern paper, so everything coordinates really easily and well together. Next up is the on-the-go accessories die. This is part of the Totes Marvelous bundle. You can see there's eyeglasses, a book, and other accessories that fit inside this purse, which is made from in the bag die, also part of the Totes Marvelous bundle. Next, we have the Hey There Marvelous stamp set. There's a marvelous sentiment and then a bunch of sub-sentiments as well. And there's also a marvelous layered word die. If you buy any of the City Vibes bundles, you will get that word die for free. One of the great options about the pattern paper from Catherine Pooler Designs is that it lists all of the ink colors from their collection that go along with that pattern paper. So I've pulled those out as well. Now let's use all those fun supplies to make some cards. First up, we'll use the In the Bag die to create a handbag, and I'm using some pattern paper from the pack as well as some of the inks. I like to swipe a bit of ink on some white cardstock and use it to cut out some of the smaller dies. Since I don't need an entire piece of cardstock for that, I can just do small swipes of ink along one A2 piece of cardstock, and I can get a whole bunch of little items from that set cut out. Now you can see the handbag has those little pegs at the bottom. I'm going to color that in with a Deco Gel Karen marker, which basically will make it slightly gold. I'll also add some gold to the handles, kind of where those studs would be, attaching it to the purse. And then here's that little bottom piece, which I like in a different color on that purse. And you can see on the sides, there are little score lines. And so you can fold the purse in to create a dimensional look. So I have 2 pieces of the same pattern paper. I'll fold the top one in a little bit, and this way when I add it to some foam squares on the second piece down below, it will create a little pocket that I can add my accessories into and make it look like a real purse. So I'll add the handle. I'm using some of the My Sweet Petunia Precision Glue Press Glue to add little bits of liquid glue to all these items. There's also a tassel and 2 little clips that attach the tassel to the clip and then the clip to the purse. So I cut the little clips out of gold metal mirror cardstock and then attached my little colored tassel to it. Next, I have all those accessories from the On The Go accessories die set. And this is how I'm putting together the glasses. I have the base cut out, then I've cut out the frames, and then I've cut out little silver mirror pieces from those frames to add in. So it just builds up that glasses to look like mirrored sunglasses. And the ink that I used on the outside is from the party dress ink, which also coordinates with the pattern paper. That accessories die set also has a little coffee cup. I've cut that out of white cardstock, and then it's got the little protective sleeve and the cap. So really cute layering dies here. There's also a tablet. So I've cut the screen of the tablet out of some black shiny cardstock, and then I used the Serenade ink to create the frame around the outside. There's also a book, and you can see at the top there's a small die that is supposed to be the color of the pages inside the hardback book. So now I'll use that 42nd Street cover plate die. Since I already have an A2 piece of cardstock, I'll just put it right inside the die lines. I'm using this as white on white because I just want that subtle background. I love the look of the pattern, but I don't want it to take away from the little accents and accessories that I'm creating for this handbag. So I have both popped up, the handbag and the coffee cup next to each other. And now it's just fun creating all those accessories added inside the handbag. Now it looks like the tablet is falling out. That's because I wanted to show the little button so you knew exactly what it was. Here is the layering die for the Marvelous die, and I've cut the shadow out of pattern paper from the pack, and then I have the letters themselves cut out of the frame from the shadow in that shiny black cardstock. So I'll put little bits of liquid adhesive behind each of the letters, then flip it over and line it up with the shadow that I've cut out of the pattern paper, and then use a tool to just poke out those letters so that they are adhered down, but the frame comes off so I can use it in a future card. I'll pop that all up right above my purse and all the accessories, and then I'll use one of the sub-sentiments and I'll stamp that in Catherine Pooler's Midnight ink. It says, "Here's to being," and I'll cut that down to a sentiment strip, and then use a little bit of the liquid glue to adhere it right above that popped up Marvelous die sentiment that I die cut. I love the little compact with the mirror, the sunglasses with the mirrored frames. Just looks like so much fun inside this purse. For this card, I wanted to show what you can do. You can, instead of folding those little lines, those score lines on the side, you can cut off those triangles and create a slightly different shaped handbag. So this handbag I've cut out of that shiny black cardstock, so it looks almost like a patent leather bag. I also cut the handle out of the same cardstock. For this card, I'm going more clean and simple because the last card I wanted to show you all the accessories and just jam them inside a purse. But this is a totally different look. It's a little easier to create because there's less die cutting. And so I wanted to show you that you can do either. You can have lots of fun adding in tons of accessories, or you can go for a simpler look. Instead of coloring in the little grommets on the outside of the handle of the handbag, this time I decided to use some of the sequins from the Milan mix. I'll cut a piece of pattern paper down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I'm cutting a piece of white cardstock down to 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. So there will be margins on the left-hand side and right-hand side that will show the pattern paper, but the top and bottom will be flush to that pattern paper. I'm stamping from the stamp set, "You're Just Marvelous," and then I'll just use a little tape runner to adhere that white cardstock with the sentiment already stamped on it. I actually remembered before I adhered it down to that pattern paper. I'll pop up the little purse on some foam squares and add the little sunglasses in front of it. Now this pattern paper has a bunch of bows, and I thought instead of adding a tassel to the handle of the purse, I decided to fussy cut out one of those bows and add it right on top because I felt like that look really went together with this handbag. So again, a very clean and simple card as opposed to a more complex and lots of die cutting card. For this card, I'm also going clean and simple. This time I have this sub-sentiment that I'm stamping first on the white cardstock. It says, "You sure are looking." And then I have that outline of the Marvelous that we die cut earlier in the video. I also have a piece of pattern paper. I had originally cut it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I just chopped off some at the top so there would only be pattern paper at the bottom 2/3 of the card. Next, I have my liquid adhesive. I'll place it all around the back of that Marvelous frame, and then I'll grab the little insets as well for that Marvelous. But first, I added some gold lens sunglasses. I thought those were a lot of fun. Here are the little insets. So if you have them still attached to your letters, just put a little adhesive behind that little inset of the A and then place the entire A inside the frame. Make sure you push down on that little piece inside the bubble of the A, and then you can peel out that A itself and that little bubble will stay inside. So that's just a really easy way to line those up perfectly. And then I'll pop up my golden lensed sunglasses. I decided to add some little sequins to the frames of those sunglasses, which I think would be really great. Sequins on eyeglasses, I think, is a really good idea. I'm not going to do it to mine because they just cost too much. So I don't want to try it out, but maybe on a fake pair or a fun pair, that would be a really fun thing to do. So this card is, again, really clean and simple. You have lots of options between the pattern paper, the dies, and everything that's included in these fun bundles. I hope you could tell how much fun I had creating with this release. It's so unique and innovative and just really so much fun to play with. But I'd love to hear if something caught your eye. Let me know in the comments below. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. There was a lot of pausing. Don't mind me. I think that's it.